So as promised, what we're going to do today is change this this oil seal on the front of the gearbox, and then hopefully get the flywheel all dressed up and cleaned up. New spigot bearing in there, put the clutch together, put the flywheel back on the engine, and probably slide it all back together, but we'll see how we go. I've just given it a bloody good clean this morning, had it outside and water blasted it all because it was pretty crappy. But yeah, it looks like we've got a couple of 7/16 bolts on here, and then I don't know what those are at the back, probably, I don't know, 9/16 or something. Anyway, this shaft's got to come out, but it's a bit grotty, so before I try and pull it out, I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up quickly. A bit of this stuff. Might make it a bit easier to get out. Give it a proper clean up once I've got it all the way out, but will it go right over in there? Yes. That looks absolutely tons better already. Very tight. Do I suppose. Right, hoist. I'll get these 7/16 out. My trusty rattler. Yeah, they spin you on the back, don't they? Yes. Why won't that go on there? Might have to get a smaller socket or spanner on that, I think. And what's on the other side of there? They look like bolts as well. Alright. 7/16, so I'm going to go and get myself a spanner. See if we can get these buggers undone, innit? I put a bit of a rag up there because I keep smacking myself in the head with it, which is not much fun. So now let's see if we can get these buggers undone now. Not much room in there, but it's coming off. Find the little sods out. Just stick it in there. Oh, pretty much fell out. Look at that. I don't know whether someone's modified this, because I have seen one of them they had flat blade screws in it, but they're out. Yeah, don't know if they're original or not, but someone's taken the top of the bolt off. Anywho, now that little fella's free. I'll get another bit of rag and I'll try, what's it, like a 17mm spanner on the other side or something. 11/16, 17mm in new money, that is. I'll go and get another bit of rag. Let's see if we can get this little fella to come out. Get them wires out of the way, don't need those buggers. Punch it out. Has it got a hole the other side? Yes, it does. So I might knock that out with something, because it doesn't seem to want to move. Yes. It's very gritty. I think I'll just get a tapometer. Right, I think I've got that on the run. So that's that. And go back in there like that. And that's that shaft out. And we'll give him a bloody good clean before it goes back, I think. Right, that's that bit out. Now, a bit of access in here. I've already dropped some oil out of this. So, we'll get these bolts on this side. So hopefully you can see down in there. I believe that, just those 4 bolts at the back there. So, let's get them off. One. And hopefully no oil should come out because I've drained it. Well, I say drained. I've drained the front half of the gearbox. There's still oil in the back, but hopefully this should be enough for it to not piss out everywhere. Now this was very dirty and crappy in here, so I'm not even going to chance thinking that there was no problem with it. It's definitely been bloody leaking. So. Now, hopefully, that should just pull out. There we go. It's out. So that looks to me like someone's been in there before. There's no gasket on there. Was part of a gasket. Oh no, sorry, I tell a lie, there is a gasket in there. There is. But I might get that in the parts washer and give it a bloody good wash. And at some stage it has had a new oil seal in there. But saying that, it's a bit buggered, look, it's all kind of bent, and when they put it in they bent it a little bit. So someone's been in here before, but the seal doesn't feel like it's got any points left on it, so we're going to change it anyway. So I'm going to go and give this a quick washer in our parts washer, and then I shall knock that bearing out. And I think what I might do as well, while I've got this shaft out, I'll probably use that to line up the clutch plate, but we'll see how we get on. But I'll clean all the back of this up and make sure we get this up the right way as well, because it only goes one way up apparently. So yeah, that must go to the bottom like that. Although this has got a whole top and bottom, it's just the there's a relief on there for to clear the other plate. So that must go on there like that. Should have looked before I took it off, but that's how it goes. Yeah, yes. Isn't that right? So parts washer. Well, they're all clean and lovely. I'm just going to try and punch this oil seal out. Like that. Come out nice and easy. Make sure it's nice and clean in there. Right, these bearings don't look too bad either. There's no pitting or anything on them. That race. It's got like standstill marks on it, but other than that, that's all good. So now I've got that horrible, ugly seal out. I shall go and find my nice shiny new one and find a socket that I can knock it in with. But that's been brutalised when they put that in. Really has. terrible, isn't it? I might put a bit of sealant around it as it goes in as well, just for shits and giggles really. Here's our seal, and that's the part number for it if anyone's looking for one. From SpareX obviously, because that's where I seem to be able to find all the stuff. Now then, make sure we get it in the right way around, otherwise it'd be a plonker, Rodney, isn't it? We'll put a bit of this on here. And I'm probably going to get rid of the gasket on the back as well, because it's buggered and I haven't got another one, but I can just use this stuff. That's lovely. Again, it's the spring side is facing you where your oil is going to try and escape from. I pretty much pushed most of that in by hand with that sealant on it, which is nice. And the only thing I've got close to it is this socket, 1.5 inch, which I use for the that's for the front pulley. So that seems to fit lovely. I would say that is home, governor. Yeah. There we go. Not deformed like the other one was. The other one had been, I don't know what they put it in there with, probably a brick or something, I don't know. But that's how you do that. Well, that's how I do that. Next thing, I'm going to clean the gasket off the back of this, and I'm going to quickly clean the flywheel and drop the engine down on the ground, get the flywheel on, so as I can use the a shaft to centre the bearing, centre the clutch plate and whatever. So I'll quickly do that and I'll come back. Right, so I've given the flywheel a bit of a birthday because it had been painted and it was a bit horrible and crappy, and I've also cleaned up the clutch plate side as well because that rust on it and stuff. Now it's all nice and shiny and briny-ish, as good as it's going to get. Just going to change out this spigot bearing. I've got what size socket is that bugger there? 1 inch, seems to be, looks like it's going to fit. And we'll just clobber that bugger out. Actually, no, that might be a bit too tight. I might try and get a slightly smaller one. So I'm going to find a smaller socket than that. 15/16 then, we'll try that bugger. And that's the one. Right. So there's our rotten old bearing. It's all quite sea solid. So that can go in the bin. And nice new SpareX one. Part numbers S40734. And we shall pop him in here. Let's give that a little bit of a clean up with a bit of rag. Crap out there. That's much nicer now. Right. And we'll clobber this little bugger in. And it's nice and home. That's just a 30mm socket, so handy as in your socket set. Next thing, we'll get this flywheel back on here. Let's just go and find the bolts. Right. So I'll make sure this goes on the same way as it came off, and there's two dowel holes on here. Actually there's three, I think. No, sorry, there's two. One, two. That one there's to push it off with anyway. So there's a mark on the end of the crank, so I should be able to line them back up again. Exactly the same place. Again, that's better. Right, they're all started now. I should just rattle them up nice and gently. Let's just check them with a ratchet. Make sure we've got a point. Right, they're on. All I've got to do now is bend those tabs over, and then that little fella's done. So I'll go and find my little chisel, and we'll bend those tabs over on there. And it'll be another job nearly jobbed. You don't want your flywheel flying off, do you? Just wouldn't be cricket. Right. I might just put a bit of copper slip on that in there, just in that spigot bearing for that to go in, and I will put some on the clutch plate, splines and all. Look at that, pretty marvellous, right. Like that. Get these all started like that. I'll just centre that clutch plate up again. So I'll just do it in opposites, but it can't really move that much, so. And that, as I say, is that. Now I can grab my shaft again and pop it back in its casing, and we'll get that mounted. Right, I'm just going to bung a bit of tape around here so I don't bugger the seal up. when it goes on. That should do, won't it? That should Scooby-Doo go there. Put a little bit of grease on it. And slip the bugger back in. I've also cleaned up the surface that the seal runs on, because that had sort of standstill marks on it, probably a bit of rust and crap where it's been sitting for so long. Hopefully that'll go in there nicely. Yes. I'll tell you what I will do, I'll just pull that back out of touch and also put a bit of grease on this bearing on it so it's not running dry when it first starts driving. Can't be a bad thing, can it? Better. Very nice. Get this bleeding tape. Oh, there we go. Now, because I ain't got a gasket on there, I'm going to chuck a bit of this sealant goop around here. Definitely want to come out, does it? There we go, marvellous. Right, give it a little splidge around. Hallelujah, wasn't it? Right, let's throw this bugger back in here. Right there. Get on there, you little swang. Right, we're in. Get these bolts back in. Let's put the lid back on with grease. Don't tread in it, I suppose. Be nice. I'll have to give it another clean up before I put this on, and also before the engine goes on I've got to try and get this starter solenoid working, because it doesn't engage, so it goes so far. I don't know whether it's round the wrong way or what. I'll have a look, but yeah, we'll have give that a coat of looking at and all. So I may not get the engine on tonight, but I should get all this assembled hopefully. The shaft back in. Yeah, that starts solenoid. I really want to do that because it's a bit of a bugger to do once you've got the gearbox in. I think you can do it. I think you could probably just pull this up, hold it up with a cable tie or something and play with it, but while it's there I can actually see how much movement's on it. You can get that pin out there. I'll take that pin out and just see how far it's actually got to go before it makes contact. Yeah, not sure why it's not working. Yeah. Anyway, I'll sort that out in a minute. But let's get this shaft rattled in. Lucky I've got an extremely long extension, so it makes it a piece of wee. Right, I'll just check them with the old rest sheet, which is where the hell is that? Over there. Right, marvellous. And that all still moves freely, so that must be bloody good, isn't it? What I want to do in there, while I've got all that clutch release bearing and all that out, it's the best time to have a look at this little thing. So I'll have a to-do with this quickly, get a pair of pliers and see how much movement that's got on it when it for some reason it's got a bit more on there. Might pull the gear stick out and have a look as well, so I'll quickly do that and I'll tell you what I find in a second. So I've just quickly pulled in this old switch out, see what's going on with it. Just a split pin at the top. Yeah, why is that not workifying? There's not much that can go wrong with that bit. It looks like it's been in there forever and a day, so we'll leave him alone, I reckon. In there. It hasn't got much movement on it, but what I might do, I'll just quickly take this apart, I think, and have a look inside. Well, I've got that apart, and that's what it looks like inside. Can you see that? It's a bit poked, so they need cleaning up. That's probably why it's not making a very good contact. And the same with that part. It's all grotty and horrible, so I'll take it all apart, I think, and I shall give it a bloody birthday. And it looks like you might be able to adjust this actually. Can you? Nah. It's just got a spring on it. But anyway, I shall get some stuff and I shall give it a clean up, I think, and see if I can get it to go. Well, I've just given that a little bit of a birthday. Where are we? Clean the contacts up, clean that up, and we'll stick him back together, see if we can get a bugger to work. And hopefully that's all it was. We hope. And then we'll pop it back in. I've got a little multimeter just down here on the floor somewhere, so I'll just give it a test before I put it in, make sure it is going to work. Don't chuck it in and it's wanked, eh? That'd be stupid. Right, where's my finger? So I don't know if you can see this, but there's my little tester, and if I push that in, that appears to be working now, so we're going to throw him back in the tractor. I'm just chucking this switch back in, and you've got a little tiny bit of adjustment backwards and forwards on it, so I'm going to pull it right the way forwards, hopefully that gives it the right amount of movement to bring it on. be good to get this bloody engine back on here anyway. And I'm just in a process actually of building myself a spray booth, because I make such a bloody mess in here when I paint stuff, and I like to do the whole process myself. I don't want anyone else, you know. Oh, just nice to do everything, eh? If you can, anyway. So I've got a bit of an extension on the side of my shed, which is for my electrical stores, but I've had so much gear in there just sitting there that we haven't used for a long time. I thought, bugger it, I shall have a cabinet reshuffle out there, which I have. I've moved some shelving into here because I used to have car parts out there as well, and so now I've got all my car parts over on a shelf over on the side, and I've gained some space, so I'm building a spray booth, proper spray booth as well. It'll be all lovely, it will. Anyway, let's see if this is going to bleed in work now. Test is a bit intermittent. It's quite awkward to hold both these probes on. Need another pair of hands really, but so we're getting continuity, it's just not beeping. Oh, there we go. I think this tester might be a bit, yeah, there we go. No, definitely need another pair of hands. Oh, there we go. Lovely. So that's working, that's good. Another job. Coming out tomorrow, I'll be able to put the engine on, but I'm just going to assemble the clutch, rest of this back in, give us a bit more of a clean out. I've given a little shaft a bit of a birthday, and I'll chuck a little bit of grease on the bugger. Not that much, obviously. Come here, alright. Put some grease in the bushes. It was running a bit dry, to be fair. It was a bit of a bugger to get out. Right. Blew right away, haven't I? Make sure I get this round the right way. You can see the face that hits the thrust release bearing there. Might just get an adjuster, which is over there. Lovely. Oh, that's better. And the only thing that holds that in place is the bolts, like the this shaft against there on the release bearing. So we'll get these bolts back in here. Losing bits, aren't I? Now let's get that. There we be. T'other. Hopefully I'll get my paint booth done and actually paint this tractor in it, which would be nice. I don't really want to make a mess anywhere else because it takes absolutely ages to clean up and it goes everywhere, the old overspray. So I've just bought three 300mm fans, which I'm going to use for pulling all the fumes out. And I've got some filters and stuff, so I can filter the air going out the workshop so you don't get paint crap everywhere, which would be a bit nicer, I should imagine. But yeah, I'll have a bit of a session on building that in the next week or so, I think, and then we'll have somewhere nice to paint. So I've got my rover to paint as well. I don't really want to do that outside either, because it'll ruin it, won't it? Get these tight. And I'll adjust all this up when I put it back together. I'll have to adjust the pedal, but that shouldn't be too hard. That's that one. And that's that one. Right. Next thing I've got to do is get the, I've got a new release bearing. So I've got to take the old one off. I'll punch that off in the vise, put the springs back on the back, and then that all can go back together. So there's the release bearing mechanism. There's my new bearing. The old one was rattly as. That's the part number. I've just punched it out in the vise. It came out really easy, so I'll just clean it up in a minute. I'll just put this one on, and then that can go on the tractor, innit? Okay chaps, here we go. Right, that's on. That just, the other one was rusted on, but the new one is a nice slide fit. So I'll put some copper slip on it, so that won't rust up anymore. And then I'm going to put a bit of copper slip on the shaft it slides on, just up here. And just on the faces of the reaction arm, be on there. Might as well put a bit more on that shaft as well. That goes together. Not too much though, on you, otherwise it will just spray all over the clutch plate, make it slip. But that's lovely. Right, that's that bit, and that just goes back on there. And that shaft locates right in there like that. That's what holds it all together. And then these little fellas, these little very skinny arms get in here. Just go on like that. Can't really see, can I? Bit dark in there. That's that. Sweet. I'm going to clean this up around here, get a scrape off and a bit of a sand up, and then that'll be ready for them to take their little engine, won't it? There was a paper gasket on here, but I've just put some sealant around here, I think. Stop it reacting. You can see there's been water laying in here in this gearbox because it's all pitted at the bottom down here, so it's been eaten away. That's now ready pretty much for the engine. Cool bananas. Do I put it on now? What's the time? No, it's getting to indoors o'clock, I think. I might have to be indoors o'clock. But it will be tomorrow. The engine will probably go on. and then I shall be able to get this little video uploaded to the tube of the U's and stuff. But anyway, it's a pretty good day. Clutch on, new thrust release bearing, new spigot bearing. What else have we done? Give it a bloody good clean, I have. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, engine on. Actually, before I go, just make sure you do get the release bearing on the right way around. That's the face that acts on the fingers of the pressure plate. So make sure you've got your that side that way, like that, in it.